Hello everyone, my name is Dani Bereznay and welcome to the shortest track guide you will see on this channel, as today we are driving around Austria, which is not the shortest circuit by distance, but definitely the shortest track in terms of lap time. Arriving to turn 1 is uphill, so we can brake really late, be back on early the power to have an awesome exit, open up the DRS. This is the best overtaking opportunity of this circuit, which ends the first sector as well. Second sector starts with another right turn, a hairpin, go down to second gear, focus on finding the traction and open up the DRS. Once more, you can fight back or finish off your overtaking maneuver here. A downhill braking zone, the longest braking zone of the circuit, because gravity works against us, using every millimeter of the circuit on the outside, taking the shortest line towards one of the only two left-hander of this circuit. The second one only requires one shift down and a little lift. Use everything of the track, but not a millimeter more, as your lap time on this circuit is easily invalidated. High G-forces on my virtual body in the last two corners, just about keeping it on track and open up the DRS for the third time this lap. And we finished the 1-303, which I'm sure maybe you can beat. Let's try it. And good luck team for the weekend. As I ran out of breath, I will do a slow lap. Every single hot lap starts from the corner before. We have a late apex, early on the power, open up the DRS as soon as possible to have the greatest speed, crossing the start-finish line to already gain time before we even arrive to turn 1. Turn 1, use all the curb, take it underneath your car, this white and red strip. Hit the sausage curb just a little bit on the edge. Use every millimeter of the circuit on the outside. Focus on being back on the power already before the apex. Uphill you can have oversteer while you're slowing down. If you are back on the power, it will stabilize your car. You will need perfect differential and brake bias settings. Second sector starts with another braking where we need to brake precisely on the outside curb. Don't touch this sausage and don't touch the outside curb either, to maximize traction on the rear tires. And again, even if you are shifting and doing all kind of stuff on your steering wheel and pedals, focus on always opening up the DRS as soon as possible, because we want to reduce the drag as soon as possible to gain lap time. The deep braking zone, downhill. We can attack apex early, rotate the car while braking, and use the track like this, or you can even use the green part of the curb with your outside tires. You should check the delta to see which style suits your confidence better. On this entry again, you have to use these curbs, very little tap on the brake, don't touch the high part of the inside curbs, as it will really unsettle the car under these loads. Stay on the outside for as long as possible to maximize the potential of our racing line. Just a little lift here, straightening out the wheel as soon as possible, and here already focus on taking the shortest line and least amount of steering input to scrape away absolutely no speed. In real life you cannot do that, but here use the outside curb. Even here on the entry it feels really unnatural, but it gains you lap time. Again, make sure you stay within the track. And last corner, because it's a little bit deep and you have so much load on the outside, you can even use that sausage curb. You have another DRS zone, so don't forget to open up the rear wing just before crossing the line and completing an awesome lap around Austria. And now let's go back into the garage. Generally speaking, the F124 game is really high on downforce in every single circuit, as even the low downforce setups, they don't lose significant amount of drag, so you will not gain that much in the straights, but you will lose quite a lot in the corners. So we are still in the higher range of wings, but obviously for the race, if you can find a setup with a lot lower wings, which you maybe only go 1 or 2 tenths lower per lap, that will be awesome, because it will help you to save battery, to overtake better, especially in a train when everyone around you has slipstream and opens DRS as well. Differential, off throttle, if you put this lower, then you will have more rotation while braking. If you put it higher, you will have more stability. Kinda the same with the engine braking. It can really unsettle the car while you're shifting back on the gears if this is too high, so it's just about in the middle range for us in time trial at the moment. On throttle differential, if you go lower, the car rotates better. If you go higher, it will have a little bit more traction and a little bit more stability. So again, you need to find a balance in terms of how you want the car to react while you are pressing the accelerator. In terms of suspension, this is the new meta in the game. You need to use our maximum cambers because there is a lot of body roll with the new suspension model. So we want the tires to have the biggest contact patch, the outside tires leaning out from the corners, so the camber counteracts this by leaning towards the inside. And we don't need those in this game. We like the car loosey-goosey, and I don't know, it's just better without those. Better. I cannot say you any reason. If you put rear toe in, you will have even more understeer, and I think this game is genuinely a little bit on the understeery side, especially mid-corner. And then suspension, front suspension needs ultra responsive, ultra stable, big braking zone, high, fast speed direction changes. The rear suspension is a lot softer though, because we need the car to have good traction from low speed, especially on some bumpy curves or parts of the track where we use every millimeter of it. Anti-roll bar, going back to the front suspension, we just love to have a stable platform to this car around this circuit. The ride height, you just need to be compatible basically with the setup you use. If you go softer suspension, you need to go higher. If you go stiffer, you need to go lower, because we just need to keep the ride height in an optimal range. And then comes the brakes. Pressure is 100%. You absolutely need to utilize the downforce and slow down the car as effectively as we can. The brake bias, you can vary from turn to turn. I think in racing scenarios where you want to save the rear tires, you should even go up to like 57 degrees. Maybe even like online, you should go 55, 56. In time trial, there is no tire wear, so I can abuse the rears a little bit more. The tire pressures, the best are the maximum in this game, which is not really realistic, unfortunately, but maybe it will be fixed in the future. But to my knowledge, real F1 teams use close to minimum pressures allowed by Pirelli. This was the setup guide. Thank you very much for watching. I absolutely love you guys. See you in another one.